Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we have a lot of very important things to discuss. First of all, Bitcoin just made a wonderful recovery. You guys have most likely already seen it, but we're starting to pump pretty significantly over the last couple of hours, and it came right after Bitcoin broke out of its continuation pattern that was leading towards the downside, and also right after we bounced off of our descending trend line right here, which was also a continuation pattern before. As said, Bitcoin is right now hovering at about 24,000, which has acted as some significant resistance in the past. But in a more short-term way, you can also see that we had a breakout to the level which I set was our major take profit right here, 22.6 thousand. We got ourselves a little breakthrough to our previous resistance right here at roughly around 23.6 before coming back down, retesting that support again and breaking out towards the next closest resistance, which is roughly at around 21 or 24.1 thousand. However, this entire zone has acted as a lot of resistance in the past here. And so the moment that we break through and get ourselves some confirmation, oh boy, are things looking good. But before we move on, I have a couple things to say. One, I have a $2,500 giveaway going on over on Twitter. How? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If Bitcoin doesn't reach $25,000 this week, I'm giving away $2,500. And if it does, you guys ain't getting nothing. But for all my XRP traders out there, there's also a very nice thing going on over on Bybit. From now until July 31st, if you trade $3,000 worth of XRP3L, you'll get anywhere between $10 and $500 airdropped for absolutely free. It's the best, in my opinion, little giveaway they've ever done, because trading $3,000 to get between 10 and 500 bucks is a pretty good deal. It's actually a significantly low amount that you have to trade. If this were $50,000 to get a chance for all of this, I think that would be more fair, but $3,000 is relatively low for getting 500 bucks for free. So again, make sure you just go ahead and check that out. And guys, if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos, make sure you press that like button. Why not, right? And check out the links down below if you're looking for any exchange to trade on. There's a lot of cool exchanges with cool bonuses, and they're all linked down below. So I just want to quickly come back to the price and just give my little 2 cents on the end. We got ourselves a beautiful bounce, right? We talked about going long on Bitcoin at $20.7 thousand, and right now we're already a couple $1,000s up. And so what is the next move? Well, honestly, guys, we remain bullish for the time being, which is still a short term, to be honest. That is because right now we're in a zone where it could definitely take out our previous top at around 24.1 thousand. And if we do, there's a little bit of bullish headway for a little bit. I'm thinking at least $25,000. So let's say we get a little pump going and get ourselves a good close. There's at least another $1,000 worth of pump that we can take money on. Now, can we dump further? And is the bull market back? Is the bear market over? I'm definitely not going to include anything like that. I still believe there's a good chance we're going to see the recession kicking harder over in the US, which is going to lead Bitcoin and a lot of other altcoins to kind of get some little momentum towards the downside yet again. I do believe that if we stack up for the long term right now, it is still a good price to do so, because I personally don't feel as if we're going to go way lower than 17,000. And even though 17 and 24,000 is a $7,000 difference, a 30% difference, pretty significant. In the bigger scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it matters too much. More interestingly is Ethereum, with of course the merge coming up quite shortly. It's interesting to see how Ethereum has acted as well. We talked about this quite recently. We have our 3 zones for Ethereum, and I told you guys, every single time we just go one layer up. So we got ourselves the 2018 weekly close after the all-time high. We got ourselves the all-time high, and we got ourselves one layer above that, which is another, at some point, all-time high. You can see, I keep saying for Ethereum, the moment that we break through, we're most likely going to go to the next area until we break down again, where I'm thinking we're going to most likely go towards the lower area. And again, the moment that we broke through, that you can see, I already put the shtick for you right there. We're most likely going to go towards the next area, and right now that has been completed. We've not broken below, because you see the moment that we broke down a little bit, we actually got an instant candle towards the upside again over on the 4 hour. And right now for Ethereum, I'm still bullish until the merge, to be honest with you. Things are just looking quite good for Ethereum. Then again, I'm gonna say that Ethereum is a little bit overextended in comparison to Bitcoin. It's been on a crazy gaining spree, just going absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy. And so it wouldn't be too crazy to, at one of these days, see a little bit of a come down, a little bit of a pullback. But I would be surprised if this pullback leads us with an Ethereum that's below $1,350. So from that perspective, I remain still quite bullish. So again, guys, Bitcoin facing some major resistance right now. It's a make or break. Right now, we got ourselves the inflation numbers, we got ourselves the interest rate numbers. Those are most important. So I guess we have to wait for next month. A little side note on Ethereum, there's a lot of options expiring today, but hey, it's every single week. And we're going to see if that makes any dent or difference in the price. If we see a crazy pump in Ethereum, it's now pretty hard to say whether or not it's because of any of the option factors or anything, or just because of hype because of the merge, where it's a buy the rumor, sell the news type of ordeal. If you're wondering why I remain bullish, take a look at this. This 11-year-old Bitcoin indicator shows reversal ahead, and here's some details about it. One of the oldest indicators in the industry shows that bounce is coming. Okay, this is actually showcasing a bottom for Bitcoin, and it's signaling a pretty significant top, like a couple $100,000 actually. So one of the most popular and time-tested indicators in TA is the RSI, which we talk about on the channel all the time. And it's basically at very low values for the last couple of months. So the 2-week chart of Bitcoin allows us to see the 11-year-old RSI channel, which has been tested at least 4 times and acted as an accurate tool for determining local reversal points. So what you can see right here is we got ourselves a oversold RSI. I'm saying oversold, I mean overbought RSI, signaling a top. Oversold RSI signaling a bottom. Overbought, this overbought, oversold can get kind of confusing if you say it a lot in a couple seconds. But you understand, right? If it's at the top right here, it signals, okay, people have bought too much of it, things need to come down. If it's at the bottom, specifically here, the 50 line is the barrier, and below 30 or above 70 is usually where we draw another line, so to speak, saying, okay, it's overbought or oversold. But in this case here, they use 60 as a middle line, and I believe 90 and 30 still as the other two sides. Doesn't matter too much, though. The idea still remains quite clear, and is indeed, I'm going to say quite useful. Buying every single time that the RSI is signaling that it's in an oversold situation has historically, since the start of Bitcoin, shown to be a very good idea. Then again, logically, just buying Bitcoin and forgetting about it, or just buying Bitcoin at any one of these points, looking at the chart, does look like a significantly good idea. It's all a matter of perspective, and as long as you don't worry too much about it, as long as you don't go panic mode, it's pretty hard to lose money investing in crypto. Unless you obviously go for deals that are way greater than are kind of possible, or you're going too much into one sector. Now, CZ earlier today actually posted something on Twitter, which I think is useful. It's like a little tip, even though it's not financial advice, for investing in bull markets, and that is, if everything that you have invested into right now goes to absolutely zero, would you still be fine? If the answer to that question is, yeah, I would be fine, all right, then do your job, do good. If the answer is, nah, I'd probably struggle a little bit, better de-risk in some way, shape, or form. Now, what are you going to de-risk to? Honestly, that's why I like to go for a crypto, because I'm thinking, well, the euro we've seen now, it's kind of garbage. The dollar, kind of scary, to be honest with you, with everything that's happening. It's right now fallen below some critical support as well. Stocks, absolutely not. I mean, if crypto is risky, stocks are even worse, kind of, in this recession-y mode that we are in right now. So what exactly do you go over? Houses, watches? Both of those have done too exceedingly well over the last decade or so, which leads me to believe as well that those are not the best of investments. So if you want certainty of having something, I would say, property in that sense, like a house, will always stay. However, there's also this distinction of, well, you can't just put $3,000 in a house as easily as you could put it into crypto, right? Or into euros or dollars. So that leads me to the conclusion of do what you think is best and diversify a lot, which is not financial advice, but my personal thoughts of what is best. Having said that, here's another little bit of hopium, by the way. Fun. Just look at me making this video, and a couple hours later, when you look at it, everything just dumps like crazy. It's the story of a lifetime. It always happens that way. So I wouldn't even be surprised if in 2 hours from now, Bitcoin is at $22,000 and everybody on Twitter is crying again and screaming again. Most crypto investors holding strong despite sell-off. Here's a survey. This is a good question. Have you sold any of your crypto investments in the last few weeks? I want you guys to actually comment down below if you've sold any crypto over the last couple of months even, because I haven't personally. I have changed some crypto to some other crypto, sure, but I've not really cashed out because I don't think that's worth it for me. But here it says about a quarter of the people said yes, all, or a lot of. 20% said yeah, some or small amount, and 54% said no, I haven't at all. And that's interesting to me. I thought personally that the People that would say yes, some or small amount would have actually been the highest, but fun fact, it's the lowest. And that the no, I haven't at all would have been a significant amount lower. So it's kind of interesting to me to see how many people are still holding on quite nicely, I guess. Of course, this is biased, this survey. At least I always assume so when I just see them without checking out the data exactly. It just says here, 1,223 responses from one day, rebased among cryptocurrency investors, only weighted by U.S. Census 18 plus. Okay. And the reason I say it's biased is because it really, in crypto specifically, it really depends on who you're asking, whether or not these things match up. If I, for example, ask my audience, right, how good is XRP, or are you holding XRP? I'm sure 95% would say, yeah. So then if you extrapolate that and try to say, oh, look, 95% of the crypto people hold XRP, that would be false. And that's where it's like, well, what exact data was taken here? Are we talking about a meme coin audience, for example? Those would most likely react quite differently than, for example, a Polygon Maxi fan base, for example, which would most likely react quite differently if you ask an overall crypto audience than just a specific crypto fan base or maximalism group, which makes these surveys always so difficult to extrapolate or do anything with. But I'm still surprised by the answer, to be honest with you. And also, guys, if you're thinking, wow, but crypto's doing so bad, things are so sad right now, or this, that, there's one thing you gotta really understand quite properly. In crypto, what we're seeing is a decrease in price, but a drastic increase in utility. Ripple, for example, records 9 times increase in ODL volume with $408 million XRP sold in Q2. So, of course, Ripple does a lot of selling of XRP as well, but you got to understand it from a different perspective. The ODL growth, which just got released here, is one of the craziest metrics, in my own opinion, of just crypto's mainstream usage that can literally be measured, so to speak. Because what you can just see from reading that number is the fact that more and more companies, more and more institutions and whatnot, they're opening up to the idea of, okay, we utilize XRP in some way, shape, or form. In this specific case is ODL volume and the number or the amount of connections, countries that are connected to ODL. That drastically showcases that even though prices are surely falling, the fact that is still increasing, even though prices are falling, are showing two things. One, a lot of this stuff is just a facade. The fact that the people are being, oh no, crypto's going away, it's all shenanigans. It's all just not true at all. There's literally an increase in crypto usage even though the price goes down, which shows another thing. It's quite resilient. Many people said crypto wouldn't be nothing if the prices dropped like 99%. And I'd like to disagree. Specifically blockchain tech as a concept, but I like to disagree and say, well, most likely crypto will just decrease in people that trust it. Sure. Because all those people are in it for the wrong reason. There's about, I don't know the percentage actually. I shouldn't BS my way through. I don't know the percentage. I just think a lot of people are in here purely with the intent to make money on it, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. But crypto is often being represented as this offset to the traditional stock market and such. But if you're only buying crypto for the same reason as that you're buying stocks for, or an index for just longer term wealth and putting it in there and getting more money out, well, that's not really what crypto's all about. So if things then drop 99%, to me, it feels like a good buying opportunity as an investor, but also feels as if, okay, people have given up on this specific push to get it to the mainstream. However, the mainstream itself, in terms of usage, hasn't given up. It's just put on a little lower pit. It has to kind of sear here a little bit. It's the same thing as a recession. Every single time it happens, every 10 years-ish, it happens. And every single time people give up and say the world is collapsing and it's all falling apart. Every single time. And I think the same thing would happen with crypto. Things would fall. People would think, no, it can never be adopted. We'll get a lot of FUD, a lot of negativity. And then look further a couple of months and things will just kind of recover piece by piece. And the usage will not drop as much as the people's interest. And then once the people's interest comes back up, the usage would drastically increase yet again, which we saw in 2017-18 as well. At Bitcoin at $3,000, so many of my friends, all right, I think, I'm not sure, I think it was $3,000 that went to 2018. I can't remember. Bitcoin at $20,000 in 2017 in November, then dropped down. I'm going to say so many people lost their faith in crypto altogether. Thought the 2017 thing was it, and then boom, it disappeared. It was lost. It's kind of fun to look back at it now thinking, well, if only you had given up at that point, huh? Which a lot of people did. And you didn't get back in. And it's the same thing going from when Bitcoin went to $20 and then back to $6 or $3 afterwards. Many people thought, oh, luckily they didn't buy into that scam. And look where we are today. Huh? So yeah, if you ever think about giving up, think about that. And yeah, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.